Attacking football.
Attacking football.
Attacking football.
Hello and welcome to another Attacking Football podcast. Tonight we are discussing who is the GOAT striker of all time. Joining me to discuss exactly this is Scott Mason. Welcome back, Scott. How you doing?
Doing good, yeah. How are you?
I'm good, mate. Excited to get into this debate. Also joining us is Liam, who genuinely thinks Solanke will be in the GOAT category. So this is going to be
He's gonna be. I will pick where he is.
Liam, how are you, mate? Welcome back to the podcast.
I'm doing brilliant, mate. Can't wait to defend my good man's honor.
Well, it's going to be a long day if you think you're defending that man. Okay, look, before we get started, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. So many of you watch every week and don't actually subscribe. Do it, and you won't miss these shitfests. Right, this week, Scott went on the internet and he told Twitter to give us a list of strikers who could be in with a shout of being the GOAT. And what we thought we'd do is come up with a tier list. So we went, Scott, have we got the tier list on the screen? We're going to go GOAT, world class, elite, mid. Why is he here? And then we've got a special category for cult heroes. So we're going to go through a list of your submissions and we're going to put them in the tier list where we think is most appropriate. We'll probably have a big old argument about it along the way. So, Scott, do you want to kick us off with our first striker?
Yeah, you're going to love this first name, and he's definitely going to be going in the world-class category. It's someone has submitted Nicholas Jackson.
Chris. Okay, so we're going... Yeah, that's going to be Chris. It's going to be why is he here? I think. Remember, Liam and I have no idea what names are coming up here. Scott curated this list from a poll on Twitter. So,
yeah,
Liam, are you going? Why is he here?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't think Nicholas Jackson is that bad, but I think some of the names that are going to come up are going to be a hell of a lot better than Nicholas Jackson. So,
yeah, Scott,
yeah.
Unanimous.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I agree with that. It's way too early for Nicholas Jackson, I think.
Chris, stop ruining our podcasts. Okay, next name.
Right, next up we have Michael Owen.
Oh, that's an interesting one.
It is an interesting one. He did win the Ballon d'Or.
He won the Ballon d'Or, played for Newcastle, Liverpool, Real Madrid, Manchester United, and Stoke, if I recall. Did he play for anyone else?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. I think I'd probably put him in elite. I don't think injuries probably kept him out of world class.
Yeah, I do want to preface, like, Michael Owen was world class, but in the general debate of the greatest strikers of all time, it probably elite is probably the best position for him.
Yeah.
No, but how old was Owen when he won the Ballon d'Or again?
It's like 21,
20?
was he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, at that point he was 100% world class. Winning the Ballon d'Or at like fucking 20 years old But
it's longevity as well, isn't it? There's lots of things to take into account. Michu had a world-class season where he just ripped the Premier League to pieces, but did nothing else throughout his entire career.
Oh.
Yeah, so what are we saying? We're going world-class or elite, are we?
I think we're going elite.
Yeah.
We've agreed on the first two. This is setting a dangerous precedent. Okay.
This better be a good one, Scott.
Okay, well, the next one's an interesting one as well. It's Robbie Keane.
Mid.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have that because I mean,
of course you're not.
I'm an Irish Tottenham fan, but I mean, Robbie Keane had the longevity Robbie Keane had longevity. He played for Tottenham, he played for Liverpool, he played for even his debut season at Coventry was, I think he's got to be above. What's above mid? It's
elite.
It's elite.
So you're going to be sticking him next to Michael Owen, are you?
I mean, honestly, maybe we put Michael Owen too low, but I don't think there's any universe you can call Robbie goddamn Keane mid.
Well, it could.
There is, and we're living in it.
It could be a case though where Robbie Keane is putting elite, but Michael Owen is up on the far end of elite, and Robbie Keane is down the far end of elite.
Yeah, exactly. But is this not a universe where
what you're saying is there's a bracket. So there are positions within each. No, I'm not having it. No, listen. If you weren't an Irish Tottenham fan, you would probably have a little bit more credence with what you're saying. But unfortunately, you have literally every reason to be biased as fuck about this. He's not going in elite because he was never an elite striker. No, he is mid. don't
mean,
get
But
me
if you
wrong.
look at the numbers,
Decent
no, if
quality
you look at the
Premier League
numbers he put
striker.
up every season, he had the
Okay.
longevity that players like
All right,
Michael Owen
let's
didn't.
let's have a look at the numbers that he put up every season, shall we? Talk amongst yourselves, please.
Look,
Thank you very much. I'm just going to go looking.
Can you name any
No,
other
I'm gonna-
Irishman who played for Inter Milan?
Okay, what's nationality got to do with whether he was elite or not? Absolutely nothing. So let's have a look at his highest goal scoring season, shall we? So he's got 125 goals in 350 Premier League appearances. So he's at about 1 in 3, which is not elite. That's not elite by any stretch of the imagination.
Go through his entire career. Actually, I was mistaken, by the way. His debut wasn't Coventry, it was Wolves. But like, if you look at, I mean, I guess his appearance by goal rate isn't amazing, but like the fact of the matter is, he went from like 1999 all the way to 2016 with pretty decent goal records. That's a long time for a striker. That's 17. That's 17 years for a striker. Like,
okay, I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure Bebe is still playing football, and he's been playing for 20 years. That doesn't make him elite
but Bebe
either.
hasn't been putting up Robbie Keane numbers.
He has, but in a different league. You can't. You have to take a multitude of different factors into account before you get to elite, right? And just being able to say, well, he played for a really long time and he's the only Irish striker to play for Inter Milan is not good enough. I'm sorry. Total career stats: 322 goals in 733 games. So less than 1 in 3. I'm not having it. Not having it.
I mean,
he's not an elite striker.
I mean,
he's
yeah,
mid.
I will let you put it in mid, but I'm gonna come back to that later. I'm gonna ruin Van Nistelrooy.
That's fine. You've set your stall out now. You've capitulated at the first sign of an argument. So good. You've set your stall. Thank you.
So Robbie Keane into mid then.
Robbie Keane into mid.
Okay, so the next name is Maradona.
What?
Well, Maradona never played as a striker, did he?
Yeah, I know. I don't know who listed this man, but
like, why is Maradona actually here? Why is he here? He's not a striker.
I mean, according to Transfer Market, he played as an attacking midfielder. Let me just bring up his full stats. 1 sec.
I mean, I didn't watch Diego Maradona, like, but
yeah.
I'm not. I mean, LA probably did, but.
No, I did not. Thank you. I'm not nearly that old. Actually, I am that old because he played in the '94 World Cup, and that was the first one I ever watched.
There we go.
So, according to Transfer Market, Maradona played 3 games as a second striker and 1 game as a centre forward in his entire career.
I think to keep the list correct, I think Maradona goes in. Why is he there?
That's a really good shout. Yeah. Otherwise, the next is going to be Kevin De Bruyne and Bruno Fernandes next.
So just so the viewers know, Diego Maradona and Nicholas Jackson are on the same level.
Love that.
I agree wholeheartedly.
That might make Chris very happy. Okay.
Right. The next striker is Lewandowski.
Lewandowski, I think, goes in world class.
I mean, if Michael Owen isn't world class, because when you talk about Lewandowski, what's the one thing you think about when you think Robert Lewandowski?
Goals.
No, I mean, other than, like, if you think about Lewandowski's season.
See, when I think of Lewandowski, I think of that season where he was robbed of the Ballon d'Or because they decided to just not give it.
That's Michael Owen has the one thing that Lewandowski hasn't, and he's a tier below.
No, that's not true. Well, otherwise, we might as well just go through the Ballon d'Or list and stick all of the Ballon d'Or strikers in. It just doesn't work like that. Liam, I'm going to say this to you 1,000 times in this podcast. There is gonna be more criteria to meet than did they win a Ballon d'Or or not. Okay.
Oh yeah,
Lewandowski is
like the Ballon d'Or is important to Lewandowski, because it was over that one season like that he was completely robbed, by the way, but.
Right, listen, I don't really give much of a flying fuck about the desk that my computer is currently sat at, right? But if somebody walked in and took it from me, you'd be damn sure I'd be upset about it. So, yes, I can see why he's a little bit upset that he didn't get the Ballon d'Or that he rightly deserved.
Yeah.
In terms of where we're putting him, I don't think he makes it into GOAT. I think he makes it into world class quite easily.
I don't think so. But also, if you think if Lewandowski had won the Ballon d'Or, would he be saying GOAT, do you think?
No, I I think
No.
that tier is reserved
I think
for
that would
very, very few select players.
Yeah. I think there's probably going to end up being maybe 2 players in the GOAT category, but we'll probably come on to them. Yeah, I think let's. Why don't we do, because there's 3 of us.
Yeah.
Why don't we do this by virtue of a vote, right? So world class. I'm voting world class.
I'll go world class as well.
Yeah, I'll go world class. So unanimous.
There we go. There we go.
I love
Good.
democracy.
Common sense prevailed.
Right. So the next man up is Johan Cruyff.
He was a centre forward, wasn't he? More of a 10.
It's a
More
centre
of
forward, not striker. No,
Yeah, but
No,
I feel like
they're
centre
different
forward and
positions.
striker. I feel like centre forward and striker
Yeah,
are very similar though.
centre forward is deeper in the
They're
picture.
similar, but they're not the
I
same.
feel like centre forward's just a subgenre of striker.
Yeah, I'd still go world class.
Yeah, no, you can't put him below world class.
See,
No,
I
in
Then again,
terms
we did put
of,
Maradona in Where You Here, so
well, rightly so, Maradona does go in why you here, because he's not a striker. Johan Cruyff, I think, probably goes into world class.
yeah. I think
Yeah,
that's an easy world class.
Yeah. Liam, unanimous?
yeah, no, world class.
Good. Okay, next.
All right. Next up, we have Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang.
Where are you here?
Why are you here? Yeah, I agree with that.
Why is Mama who?
See, I don't know. I feel like Aubameyang had a good few years though.
He did have a good few years, but that isn't enough. Maybe he goes in mid rather than why are you here? Because let's face it, Aubameyang has played for some of the biggest clubs in the world.
I'm looking at his goals right here. Dortmund, he got 16 goals in the league season, followed by 25, followed by 31, then 13. Then he went to Arsenal, he got 10, 22, 22. Barca, he got 11. And then he went to Marseille and he got 17 last season.
Yeah, but that's Marseille. There's a rapist in France playing for Marseille, playing in France that's scoring goals at the moment. That doesn't mean anything.
See, I'd be tempted to put him in mid.
Yeah, mid's probably about right. Yeah.
Or I would stick him in mid.
Yep. Liam agreed.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm also not here right now. My camera, I had to leave and rejoin to fix my camera, so
That's fine. Don't stress too much about it. I don't think anybody will be bothered about seeing you lying.
Right, is ready for the next name?
Yeah, let's go.
Right, Antoine Griezmann.
Oh God, that's a tricky one actually.
That is a tricky
Again,
one.
I don't think he fits in the traditional mold of striker.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, I mean,
But
like,
then-
he also does at the same time. So
Yeah. It's
I
a
mean,
difficult
Scott,
one, that.
If you
I'd-
put Antoine Griezmann in world class, you are a traitor to your country. Just gonna point that out there. You are a heathen. You are a treasonous bastard. Euro 2016.
Listen, let's try and be as objective as we possibly can and not did they score against my country, because we're going to be in for a long night otherwise. Griezmann has 272 goals in 705 games, which does back up the not a traditional striker. But he does have 124 assists as well, which is not bad. So, I don't know. I'd probably put him in... As a striker, I'd put him in mid. As a centre forward, I'd put him in elite. But how do we delineate between striker and centre forward? Are we literally going, this has to be a striker?
see, I'm of the opinion that a centre forward and a striker are the same. They're just different positions in.
But one's a goal scorer and one's a facilitator, right? So you look back at the old Man United teams, you would have, let's say, Van Nistelrooy was a goal scorer. Teddy Sheringham was a facilitator. Teddy Sheringham didn't score loads and loads of goals, but he made the team play. Eric Cantona wasn't an out-and-out striker.
Yeah, I guess I know what you're saying, but I've been maybe it less so for Griezmann, but even for like
All right,
Cruyff,
sorry.
even for Johan Cruyff, like he's called a centre forward, but I feel like back in the day, nobody said striker. Everyone was like a centre forward.
So you think the terminology changed, but the positions are the same?
Yeah, so I think Griezmann as a centre forward is a lot different to Johan Cruyff as a centre forward.
You think so?
Yeah, because I feel like any time I've asked my dad about someone we'd call a striker, he's called them a centre forward.
Yeah, I mean, we could have a podcast about this just on its own about the difference between centre forward and striker, couldn't we? That's not really going to get us anywhere. Okay, I'm probably going to go with if you're going to class him as a striker, I'm going to go with mid.
Yeah, no, I probably agree with that, to be honest. I don't think he was necessarily that good of a striker, per se.
Yeah,
Scott, where are you putting him?
yeah, I'd say probably mid as a striker.
Okay, there you go. Antoine Griezmann's going at mid. Oh, it's a fruity start to the podcast.
Yep. All right, next
Almost
up.
as bad as Robbie Keane.
Next up, it's Didier Drogba.
Elite.
Yeah, no, elite, I'd say.
Elite. I don't think he's world class.
Yeah, look,
I'd say elite.
I've
I
looked
think
at.
honestly, he's kind of like a mold between like elite and cult hero, I guess, in a way.
Yeah. You know
Like,
what?
he's
That's
good
that's
enough to
a
be
pretty good shout.
He's good enough to be elite, but also he's a cult hero as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, by virtue of him being a fairly successful footballer and not just a one-season wonder, I would be
elite,
I would be quite comfortable putting him in elite. I think he struggled. He struggled in quite a lot of seasons. He didn't really do it. When he left Chelsea, I don't think he had a very good career.
yeah.
I don't think he makes it to world class on the basis of that.
Yeah, just on the base of sheer goals. I know Chelsea fans will say he's a lot more than just goals, but like there's a lot of seasons where he didn't get more than 10 goals for them in the league.
Yeah, but I think the seasons where he showed up, he just wasn't elite, I'd say, just for those alone.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're putting him in elite then, are we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Next up is Edison Cavani.
Oh.
That is actually a difficult one.
I think Cavani is a better striker than Drogba. I think Cavani is a better striker than Michael Owen. But is Cavani on the same level as Lewandowski? Probably not.
Did you say Cavani is a better striker than Michael Owen?
I did say that, yeah. I did say that.
I mean,
he is a better striker than Michael Owen, yeah.
Cavani spent most of his career in fucking League One in France. Like,
Michael Owen played for Stoke and Newcastle. What's your point? He couldn't get into the
Michael
starting
Owen
11.
also played for. Michael Owen played in the Premier League. He won the Ballon d'Or. He played for Real Madrid. Cavani spent
he didn't play for Real Madrid. He signed for Real Madrid. He didn't play.
Okay, that's true, but I mean, like Cavani spent a lot of his years stat padding in League One, you know, and League One wasn't as good as it even was now back then. To be honest,
he scored 104 goals in 138 games in Serie A. So
yeah, I mean,
what's your point?
I mean,
right.
I mean, across his whole career, he has a similar amount of games and he has 60 more goals than Robbie Keane.
Oh yeah.
So
what do you want to say about that, like?
So I don't think that's true. So he's got 392 goals in 701 games. That's more than 1 in 2. Robbie Keane has much less than that.
I think that the minutes
not true.
The minutes are similar though. Robbie Keane also had 52,000 minutes.
What's that?
Oh, he's been gagged.
Who cares about minutes? It's goals per game ratio that is the deciding factor here. I'll be really annoyed.
Why is goals per game the deciding factor, though? Why is it?
No, so let me recant that and say rather than he's got 52,000 minutes, which is just as stupid as XG and XA as far as I'm concerned. I think goals per game is the metric that we've used so far in this podcast when we're judging strikers. So let's stick to it and not try and move the goalposts because we like or don't like a certain player.
We didn't decide on that metric, or did we?
But that's what we have done for every other. We've said Robbie Keane had this many goals in that many games, and it was less than 1 in 3, and so on and so forth. So
I'm pretty sure that was you.
Oh, but you could have challenged it then, but you didn't. You're doing it now because you have an axe to grind.
He has a Robbie Keane agenda.
Neither does Scott.
Look, Edison Cavani is at least an elite striker, bordering on world class.
Yeah, I don't
At
think he's world
least
class.
elite.
Yeah, I'll be happy with putting him in elite.
Yeah,
No, I would be happy putting him in world class, but if you want to outvote me, that's
well,
fine.
it's democracy, LA. So
It's
sit down.
democracy. Yeah.
My
Right.
podcast, my rules. Okay, fine. Carry on.
Right. Next player up is Eusebio.
Oh, that's world
Oh.
class. Easily
Yeah,
Yeah,
world
that
class.
is-
I don't know much about him other than what I've been told and what I've seen of him. I'd say world class. Yeah.
Yeah.
Scott, you've seen
World
Eusebio
class.
more in FIFA than in real life. Like,
Yeah, probably. Yeah. That's unfortunately true.
I never got to see Eusebio play. I'm not that old.
are you sure?
So we're putting him in
I'm
world
sure,
class,
yeah.
are we?
I
Yeah,
thought you and
world
Eusebio were
class.
mates, to be honest, LA.
He's
Right.
dead. What do you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
What do you mean? Oh, Liam, we're gonna fall out. Next name, Scott.
Paolo Rossi.
I'm calling you old, LA.
Paolo Rossi was a great striker. Really good striker. Let me have a look at his stats because I think he was a really good goal scorer.
I only know him from that one World Cup where he cooked in. That was about it.
Yeah. So let's see. 134 goals in 340 games.
I mean, it's not a bad return, but it's like, is that
Yeah.
many games? Do you know what I mean?
Wait, who was it that put him in, actually, in the first place?
What?
Oh, it doesn't matter who put him in. He's there.
I need
But-
your reaction. That is like a very out there shout.
Yeah. Well, someone
So he
said
played-
someone wanted Paolo Rossi to be discussed, so we're discussing Paolo Rossi.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's about time we had like this debate now. How long ago did Paolo Rossi play? Like, it was like the 1970s.
1980s, I think 82 World Cup was when he had that.
He
good World
retired
Cup.
in 1987.
Yeah, I mean, it's about time we had this conversation, but like, a different game. I mean, it was a different game back then.
It was a different game back then, yeah, but you could also say that about Johan Cruyff and Eusebio, both of whom we put in world
Yeah,
class.
exactly,
Yeah.
But
See,
I just
I
know
mean-
because you haven't actually mentioned that yet.
I'll
Paolo
probably
Rossi wasn't that good.
I'll probably piss. There's probably a few Italians out there who are prime Rossi fans, and just based on.
I mean,
look,
could you
I'm
put
not gonna
Paolo
sit here
Rossi
and I'm
in
not gonna
two
sit here and say I've watched Paolo Rossi, but just based on based on the stats there, I'd probably go for mid.
I mean,
Fine.
would you not almost consider putting him in cult hero for that World Cup though?
Cult hero's not a bad shout, actually, because he probably is a bit of a cult hero in Italy.
Yeah,
Played for Juventus, played for Torino. Perugia and Vicenza.
so we gone with cult hero.
Let's go cult hero. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
he's a cult
Hero is
hero.
actually probably a good shout.
Right, next up,
See, I can have a good take.
a Man United fan decided that they wanted Federico Macheda to be discussed, and I think there's only one place for him to go, and it's why is he here?
Ghost. Obviously.
I can put my bias aside and say he should be in elite at least.
That would
Why
have
is
one
he
goal
here?
against Aston Villa.
No, he scored the following week as well, and he played really well for Cardiff City.
He scored
Yeah.
6 goals in 30 games, Ricardo. What do you mean?
I said he played well. I didn't say he scored.
All right.
Yeah, why is he here?
Yeah, no, like why has somebody decided that they wanted to submit Macheda?
Because
I mean, someone put a ham and cheese sandwich. I mean, that's better than that.
yeah, I'd rather have a ham and cheese sandwich up front than Federico Macheda, to be honest.
All right,
Okay.
next up is
Next.
is a man who I debated whether to include, but I thought it'd be funny if I include him. It's Santiago Munez from the movie Goal.
Oh, yeah.
Santi.
I mean- If we're going like off universe, probably in elite.
I think it's
I mean-
a why is he there? But like probably
No,
I mean, he played
for
he's a
class.
cult hero. He's a cult hero. He played for Real Madrid and Newcastle. He's a cult
Yeah.
hero. He followed the same career path as Michael Owen.
we put him in cult hero then, just for the
Cult
Yes,
hero.
he
goes cult hero,
go on.
Santiago Munez.
cult
Wow.
hero for the culture. Right. Next up, we have Alan Shearer.
World class.
Yeah,
All-time
no,
Premier
world
League
class.
goal
Yeah,
scorer.
I don't think there's much debate to be had on that one.
How many
Yeah.
penalties would he score today, though? I wonder.
Yeah, Alan Shearer famously replied to Scott when Scott asked him how many penalties out of 100 he would score today at his current age. And how many did he reply with, Scott?
I think he said 75 out of 100. And I think
Not bad.
I think that
He's in his 50s, bless him.
the basis of my argument was he'd score at least 85 and then he decided to go to 75.
Yeah.
But it was a lot closer to what Dylan said. So that's all that
Yeah,
matters.
to be fair. Yeah.
Right,
Dylan is never wrong.
Yeah, world class.
next up is Dimitar Berbatov.
Elite.
Oh, elite, yeah. No.
Elite.
Elite. Yeah, I'd probably
Never
agree
quite
with that.
made it
Yeah.
to world class.
Well, honestly,
Yeah.
one of my favorite strikers of all
He
time.
was kind of always
Definitely.
he was kind of always
on the periphery.
second fiddle at Man United most of the time.
But then back then, a lot of
Yeah.
really, really good players were. So you can't
Yeah.
really hold that against him. I think
Yeah.
his time at Tottenham, he was probably elite. His time at Man United, he was elite. And then I think he went to Monaco and Bayer Leverkusen before, but he went to Monaco and I think he probably fell off a little bit. But
Yeah.
Berbatov, I think if we were having a
Yeah.
tier list on who has the best first touch in football, he would be in GOAT.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, he's almost a bit of like a streets won't forget player almost.
Yeah.
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 So that could almost be like that's kind of like cult hero in a way, I guess.
Yeah,
Nah,
but
I
he's
don't-
a lot better than being just a cult hero, though.
He is, yeah. He's
Yeah.
elite.
Yeah. Right. Moving on, the next player is I think that's David Trezeguet.
Elite.
Trezeguet,
Trezeguet was a problem. When he was in his like mid-20s at Juve, he was a problem, that boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say he's a World Cup winner as well.
Yeah, no, it's hard to argue. I mean,
Yeah, I'd say elite as well. Yeah.
yeah, over 130 goals for Juventus. Like that has to go in the elite.
Yeah. Next up, we have Miroslav Klose.
Oh, I love Klose. Actually, I love
You know
Klose.
what?
The World Cup man himself.
Internationally, I think he was world class. I think domestically he was elite.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
would.
which is more? I mean, I guess obviously club is more important because it's a better metric. But international football is difficult. Like it's a difficult game.
It is a difficult game. Yeah, you're not wrong, but I think in order to be considered world class, you have to do it on every stage that you play on.
Yeah.
I mean, but you gotta say honestly, in like even like at club level, like those late days at the end of his career at Lazio, he was still on it. Like,
Yeah. No, he did. He played well. He got 54 in 139 in Syria, which is a
yeah, he
decent
definitely has a
return.
longevity metric going for him. To be fair,
Yeah.
But I did point out that Cavani had a more than a goal a game ratio in Syria as well.
Yeah,
And
Cavani was that. Oh, yeah, never mind. Yeah, it's a
Right,
Syria. Never mind.
there we go. Miroslav Klose's got 258 goals in 668 games in all competitions, including international. So I think we probably go elite.
Yeah, I have no issues with elite. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Next up, it's David Villa.
Oh,
Well, that is a good one
Yeah.
because he is bordering on
I
world
love-
class, isn't he?
I love
Yeah.
David Villa.
Yeah,
yeah.
he
No,
was.
it's like he's on the periphery of world class, definitely.
Oh yeah,
As a striker,
yeah, like I feel like most of the time he's out on the left for Barcelona. I swear.
yeah, he's got less goals in more games than Cavani. Cavani's going to be my yardstick now because you
Would you
made me.
shut up, fucking
No,
Cavani?
no, I'm not going to, and you can't make me. He's got 357 goals in 705 games. His career didn't go as long as some of the other people on this list.
Yeah.
He did suffer quite badly with some injuries towards the end of his
record
career.
for Spain, it's the same thing as Klose. His record for Spain, like 60
It's
and 98
insane.
almost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's kind of nuts.
That is fucking insane. Like,
yeah.
And then that includes
David-
winning a World Cup and a Euros as well.
But David
Yeah.
Villa got 129 and 225 for Valencia, 80 and 126 for New York City. 40. He only scored 48 goals for Barca, and that's how I remember him best is at Barca.
Yeah. But I mean, at the same time, the reason you remember him at Barcelona because when he was playing for Spain, he was in Barcelona. Like, so that's
Yeah. Yeah.
when you think of that. Yeah, you think of that World. You think of the World Cup. Like,
60 goals in 98 appearances for Spain as well. 59 goals in 98 appearances. That's some record. I don't think he's going to make it into world class for me.
yeah, I would put him
I
on
think
the
he's going to be
same
elite.
closer. Same
Yeah,
as closer.
I think elite as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We're agreeing far too much, most people. If you are still with us and you think that we're agreeing too much, press the subscribe button and then tell us in the comments
We can just argue Robbie Keane again if you want.
that
Could do.
we could do a follow-up episode just on Robbie Keane.
I would be there.
Was Robbie
You
Keane
know
world
what?
class?
I think I'm connected to Robbie Keane on LinkedIn, so I'll drop him a message to see if he wants to jump on.
Tell him I defended him and you did.
Oh, happily.
Right.
Okay, next.
Moving on. It's I absolutely don't know anything about this man, Jean-Pierre Papin.
Oh, Papan.
Happened. Yeah.
Oh, Papin.
Papan.
All I know is
Gonna be
he's won a
honest.
Ballon d'Or as well.
He has
All
won
I
a
know
Ballon
is he's
d'Or.
the hero card on FIFA. I sound like such a degenerate right now.
God. 300 goals in 540 appearances. Relatively decent career. I don't. He didn't set the world on fire. I don't think he's in the top 10 greatest French strikers of all time. But
Yeah.
he was a good striker. He was a seasoned professional. I think probably mid is where he's going to end up. Spent most of his career at Marseille.
Yeah. So, well, where are we putting him?
Mid.
Mid.
There'll definitely be a few Frenchmen out there who are very disappointed in that one.
Again, another one who performed really well internationally. 30 goals in 54 games for France.
Yeah. Next up, it's Puskas.
Puskas goes in world class without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, he's literally
Could Puskas like go and go?
Sorry?
Could Puskas like go and go almost?
See,
No.
Not
quite.
He was such a seasoned goal scorer that they did name a goal scoring award after him.
Yes, I mean, that is true. That is true. 230 goals in 250 games in his entire career.
And he's won now. He's won
that goal record as well. 515 goals and 530 appearances. How is that not goal?
Yeah.
Like, that's nearly a goal a game. That's the best one we've had, I'd say.
So he held the all-time goal-scoring record for Real Madrid before Ronaldo broke it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would put Puskas in goal anyway.
And he is one of only few men to play for multiple countries.
He is. He played for Spain.
He did play for Spain.
Spain as well. I forgot about that.
Yeah. He only played 4 times for Spain, 85 times for Hungary. He scored 84 goals in 85 games for Hungary.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would actually say Puskas is the GOAT striker. Because when you think about the GOAT, it's Ronaldo or Messi. Obviously, Ronaldo was more of a winger. I presume we'll talk about Ronaldo later. But I think Puskas is probably the GOAT striker.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind putting...
I wouldn't be against putting him in GOAT.
I'd be interested where this... Liam, you gave me his stats for goal scoring just now.
Yeah.
Go on.
Oh, it was 515 goals and 530 appearances.
Where's that stat coming from?
I mean, I honestly...
I think it's on Wikipedia. It's on Wikipedia, yeah.
So Transfer Market has got him as only having played 250 games in his career.
Well, the thing is, you got to remember
domestic career.
I don't think Transfer Market would have exactly.
I don't think that. Yeah, I don't think that's true.
There's no way Wikipedia. I know Wikipedia is bad, but they can't just invent 250 fucking games. Like, I mean,
either way, whichever stat you're going to go with, he's almost
because he was 31 when he joined Real Madrid, so. And he had
226 goals for Real.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we're going based off our own metric, it's GOAT, like I would say.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Next up is Aguero. I wouldn't be against putting Aguero in world class.
No, I would. I think I'd be against putting Aguero in world class, to be honest.
Yeah,
because
I don't know.
When you think of world class, we've already kind of established it's like Lewandowski, Suarez, and we're going to get Suarez and mention later, but that's those kind of big three. Aguero was never as good as any of them.
No, he wasn't. He
Oh,
wasn't as good as
I
any
don't
of
know
them.
if I agree with that. I think Guerrero was one of the best strikers in the world for at least 5
I
years or
don't.
so.
I think Aguero was always the best in the Premier League, but he was never really lighting on fire in Europe or anything. I think when you think
So
of the big three of strikers, Aguero is up there.
yeah, I don't think he was the best striker in the world for 4 or 5 years, like you
Well,
say he was, because
one of them, I think.
okay, so if you're the best striker in the world for one season, you are Michu.
No, I'm not saying one season. I'm saying he was one of the best strikers for at least 5 seasons.
Was he
I
though?
don't
I don't
know.
think he was ever in the top three for any seasons, really.
Oh, I disagree with that. I think if you go back and look at it, I think you'd have Aguero up there.
Oh, even in the Premier League, even in his best days in the Premier League, Harry Kane was outdoing him.
Yeah, he was. Lewandowski was
He,
outdoing him everywhere else. Benzema was outplaying him. I don't think he quite makes it to world class for me. I think he goes into
no,
elite. I don't think he had
yeah,
enough
same.
seasons where he was scoring 20, 30 goals a season.
I mean, you say that, but every season in the Premier League besides 1920 and 2021, he scored 20 goals plus.
Yeah, but so did Harry Kane.
Yeah.
Like he joined in 14-15, scored 26, 15-16, 24, 16-17, 20,
Are
17-18,
these league goals or
21.
these all
Yeah, no,
comps?
this is just the Premier League. So he
Yeah, I
has.
mean, he was never the best anywhere.
Yes,
Though.
his
Like,
first
he was never the best
his
anywhere.
first 5 seasons in the Premier League, he scored 20 plus goals.
Yeah, okay, right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like,
we're not, just because somebody's better than him, it doesn't make him not world class, because you can have multiple people
Yeah,
who are world class but still better than him. So maybe he does deserve to go into world class. And I'm
yeah.
saying that wearing this.
Manchester United top.
Yeah, which does pain me, but I'm trying to be as objective as I possibly can, and just look at the man and not the club that they played for. And frankly, he's
He
going to
says
have
with
to
a
go
massive
in.
photo of Ruud van Nistelrooy behind him, wearing a United top.
He's going to have, yeah. If I'm being totally neutral and completely unbiased, he needs to go in. Why are you here? So no, I think I'm going to go world class.
I've won a debate.
You convinced me. Yeah,
Well
because
done, Scott.
I honestly didn't think he'd scored that many goals in consecutive seasons.
Yeah, and even in and he was very injury prone as well. So to
Yeah.
score that, like even in the season where he scored 21, he scored them in just 25 games.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Liam?
Yeah, I'll begrudgingly agree.
Right. Next,
You can not agree. It's absolutely fine.
Well,
He's
I
going
don't
in
agree,
there
but
anyway.
it's,
He's going
it's
in
a
world class
democracy,
anyway,
so
right?
I'll have to allow it. But
Yeah,
I don't agree.
he's-
But it's
You're not allowing shit, fella. He's going there anyway. But I'm
not
saying
allowed
you can
no.
still go, I don't agree with that because.
Yeah, well, it's just like I said. I never felt he was. I think world class. If you want to be world class, you have to be the best in your position at some stage, and he wasn't. I think that's what world class is to me, I guess. But
right.
Oh, sorry. Well, we're supposed to be listening to you.
oh,
Sorry,
okay,
Liam. Sorry.
okay.
Right, moving on.
Yeah, thanks,
This might be one of them other ones that falls into he wasn't a striker, but it's Eric Cantona.
No, I mentioned Eric earlier in the podcast. I think he was more of a facilitator than an out-and-out goal scorer.
Yeah.
He wasn't a striker in that sense. But
Yeah.
I lost that argument, and we ended up putting Johan Cruyff, Maradona, and somebody else in there anyway, despite them not being strikers. So I think you can't put Eric Cantona anywhere other than world class if that's the metric. You can't go anywhere else. He won the league in every season he ever played in, apart from one, and he was suspended for that entire season.
I feel like for the first few years of the Premier League, he was like pretty much the face of the Premier League as well.
Yeah, he won the very first ever Premier League with Man United, having just won the very last ever First Division title with Leeds.
Yeah.
So yeah, world class for me.
I'll agree with you. You watch Cantona more than me, so I will. I'll
Mate, honestly, I remember my 12th birthday. I got a VHS. That's how old I am. A VHS of all of Eric Cantona's goals. Sorry, were we supposed to be listening to you? I got a VHS of all Eric Cantona's goals up until that
Turn
point.
your
and it was
hearing aid up.
just
Might help you.
mind blowing. He's so good. And
Yeah.
more than that, he was also an icon. He was an absolute icon. He transcended the game.
Yeah.
In probably all the wrong ways.
Oh no, I mean there was one incident in which he probably
There
didn't
was
cover
one
himself in
incident,
glory. There was one incident where he didn't cover himself in
Just
glory.
a
But let's not pretend we're not going to put Luis Suarez in world class later when he has a history of being racist and biting
Okay,
people.
yeah.
So
He's the one
let's not play that game.
Fair.
Cool. Next.
All right. Next up, it's
Okay.
Filippo Inzaghi.
Inzaghi,
Okay.
oh.
Yeah, I think Inzaghi goes in world class, especially as a striker. He
Yeah.
was the quintessential poacher.
Yeah.
He was in the Gary Lineker school of goal hanging, and he played in an era where you literally could goal hang as well. I think Inzaghi goes into world class as a striker.
Fuck man, I mean, honestly, the Italians know how to make a goddamn striker, don't they?
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
So we all agree in world class then?
Oh,
World class,
100%, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Next up, it's the man who was literally just spoken about, Luis Suarez.
Oh, okay, here we go. LA, you can start us off here. LA?
Scott and I had a debate recently, which it was born in the Attacking Football staff group chat, and it made its way onto my Twitter, his Twitter, the Attacking Football Twitter, and that argument raged for maybe 2 days on whether Luis Suarez was a better striker than Cristiano Ronaldo. And we're not going to have that fight tonight because that's not what this podcast is. And whilst I will literally, to my dying breath, tell anybody that will listen to me that Ronaldo was a better striker than Luis Suarez, that doesn't mean that Suarez wasn't a good striker. And as much as I don't like the man as a man, and as much as on
Nobody
the football
does.
pitch, well, Scott does. On the football pitch, he wasn't a particularly pleasant human being, and I certainly wouldn't go. If my daughter brought home Luis Suarez and said, "I'm dating this guy," I do you know that scene from Bad Boys? With
Yeah.
Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. Yeah, that's
LA,
what
your
would
daughter's
happen.
also a year old. That would be very weird.
Or the scene from 22 Drum Street.
Yes, exactly. With Ice Cube. Yeah, exactly
Yeah.
that. As a human being, the guy is absolute scum, but as a footballer, he's world class.
Yeah.
See,
You could almost consider him GOAT, but I won't. He's world class. Yeah.
I have to put down the argument. I think he goes into the GOAT category.
No, he doesn't.
I think he
No,
does.
he doesn't.
I think
No,
of the
he
last.
doesn't.
I think he's one of the best centre forwards the game's ever seen.
No, he isn't.
I think he
he's not.
he definitely is. 800 games and 758 goals and assists. That's an insane amount of contributions, and the way he just played, I think.
Isn't it interesting how we've just brought assists into the conversation when we've never done that for any of the other people we've talked about?
Yeah,
It's wild, that.
What's that about?
Oh, you know, but even then, 495 goals in 802 games. I think this man is being one of the best strikers of the last 2 decades.
Yeah, but that doesn't make him a GOAT.
Is he better than Puskas?
I've never watched Puskas.
No.
But
yeah, there can't be like 5 goats because we're going to have another goat eventually. There can't be like 3 different goats.
No, he's not in the GOAT category by any stretch of the imagination. We've currently got Lewandowski sitting in world class, and Lewandowski's a better striker than Luis Suarez.
Oh no, he is not. Luis Suarez is twice the player Lewandowski is, just in terms of being
you're mixing up descriptions. Better player or better striker? They're wildly different things.
No, they can coexist. Luis Suarez was a better player and he played as a striker. It's not like Luis Suarez was playing as a centre back.
David Ginola was a better footballer than David Beckham as a winger. He's a better footballer, but he wasn't a better right winger. He was just better at playing football. It just doesn't correlate. You can play in the same position and one be a better footballer, because being a footballer is not the same as being the very best at your position, because it entails so many different things. Luis Suarez has more to his game as a striker than Lewandowski, but as an out-and-out striker, Lewandowski's the better striker.
No,
I don't even think
by
Lewandowski
miles.
I don't even think that's even close to being true. I think Luis Suarez is twice the player Lewandowski is.
All right, well,
Really
Scott,
funny.
I've got some really bad news for you.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, let me guess, this is the democracy and it's 2 versus 1.
This is a democracy, Scott. Yeah.
So I'm putting him in world class. Where are you putting him, Liam?
I'm putting him in world class as well.
Who's the next name, Scott? Because I'm not asking you where he's going.
The next player is George Weah.
George Weah, was it? He won the Ballon d'Or as well.
Yeah.
Incredible player. Probably the greatest African player to have ever lived.
Depends who you ask.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah,
I'm baiting you again. I think without George Weah, you don't get Mohamed Salah. He was a pioneer for African football. He goes into world class for me comfortably. He may not have been the best out and out striker, and I know I keep saying out and out striker. He may not be the best out and out striker on this list.
I mean, I agree. Weah is world class, but you just said a minute ago that he may not be a good out and out striker. We were just like 2 minutes ago we had a debate about Suarez that ended up saying he would like.
I'm saying Suarez and Lewandowski deserve to be in the same bracket. I'm saying Suarez doesn't deserve to be in the bracket above him. But what I also said at the beginning of this podcast were there are so many different criteria that make up what makes a great striker. So what I'm saying now is this is one of the things that makes George Weah a great striker. He may not have been the best out and out goal scorer, but he has so much else about his game that makes him world class.
Okay. Never mind.
So don't get confused, mate.
You were confusing me.
So it's easily done.
Putting George Weah in world class, yeah.
We're going world class for George Weah. Yeah.
Okay.
Also, I just want to point out, Weah started his career at Bong Range United. I don't know why that's funny to me.
George Weah's son is not great, but George Weah himself, elite.
Yeah. Next up is Ian Wright.
Elite.
Yeah, elite. Yeah.
Yeah, he goes in.
And I fucking right.
Yeah. Well, when the Spurs fan has to say Ian Wright is elite, and he's elite.
There's going to be an Arsenal striker we're going to get to later, and
assuming somebody submitted them.
Yeah,
we didn't choose these names; the public submitted them, so he might not show up.
He's going to show up. That bastard is going to show up.
And if there's any proof that this was submitted by the public, the next name is Dom Solanke.
Yes, let's go. I just want to remind you, how many times has Dom Solanke appeared on that list?
Well, he appeared about 10 times because you spammed him, but he's only in the tier list once.
Just for the honest out there, I did put Dom Solanke 10 times on my list.
Well, let's hear your non-existent argument.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna. I'm jokes aside, I actually want to make a point here. I don't think he's world class. Obviously, he might be one day, but let's get into that. Cult hero.
No, he's
for
not
what?
A cult hero. He's been a Spurs for one season.
Cult hero for him.
I'm not gonna call him one season wonder, but right now he's had that one season, that last season. Cult hero.
Yeah, I don't think you understand what cult hero means, Liam.
I mean, I think what are we describing?
What you mean is I like him and he plays for the club I support. That's not a cult hero.
I'm talking about his Bournemouth season here. That is kind of on the same vein.
He's not even a cult hero at Bournemouth.
I don't think
he's not a cult hero.
I don't think any Bournemouth fans would classify him as a cult hero.
No.
I mean, but it's just that one season.
Watching you tie yourself in knots is fucking hilarious. I've got to be honest.
Fuck off, LA. But I mean, like. Going for a golden boot in the Premier League for Bournemouth, who at the time, they had just had Gary O'Neill last season, hadn't they?
Yeah. Chris Sutton won a golden boot, tied with Alan Shearer once.
Yeah, just the fact of the matter is Bournemouth were very much in transition last season, and Solanke stepped up to the fucking highest degree. I think he has to have some vein of respect for that one season last season.
I think he has to go on why is he here?
Yes, I agree. But
No,
hang on, let me just
Just be
address what
happy
Liam
he's
said.
on the table.
Let me address what Liam said. You said I think he has to be given for some respect for what he did last season. Okay, fine. He can have my respect. There you go. Done. He's going in. Why are you here? I've given you the respect. That's what you asked for. Now he's going in the
Liam,
category he's
mid,
supposed to be
mid
in.
is fair.
Liam,
Mid might be fair.
Do you know what, Liam? It's a democracy. He's going in. Why is he here?
I hate you all. I hate
Okay, well,
democracy.
you might have your chance to get back here. The next player is Jermaine Defoe.
Oh, okay.
Ooh,
Now
yeah, that's a
that
really
is
good
not
one.
an interesting one.
See, again, in terms of goal scorer and finisher, I think
Yeah.
he's elite. Absolutely elite.
Yeah,
But I don't think he was ever world class.
he's like the quintessential Premier League striker. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think he was world class either. And I named the dog after Jermaine Defoe. So, but
Jermaine Defoe is kind of like the bar setter. Like Jermaine Defoe is there, like he's like in the middle, and then there's loads of people above him. There's loads of people behind him, but he's like just there.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. And again, let's talk quickly about goals. 305 goals in 762 appearances. And to give you an indication of just how much of an out-and-out striker he was, in 762 games, would anybody like to hazard a guess at how many assists he got?
I'm gonna guess like 11 or
4.
something.
57 assists in 762 games, which is not a lot. He was
Could we
an
almost say he's
absolute
a Sunderland
poacher.
cult hero? I don't really think we could we?
See,
No.
I'd put Defoe in. If we have Robbie Keane in mid, I'd put Defoe in mid.
No,
Yeah,
I think he was
that's fair.
better. He's better than that. He scored more goals in less games. I think he was a better all-round striker. I think he goes in elite. But again, this is a democracy, and I know that you're both going to outvote me now. But I do think
if we're going to be
better
putting
than that.
Jermaine Defoe in the league, I'll take the chance and say at least if we're going to be
Something
you know,
in my
I genuinely-
bones just doesn't like having Jermaine Defoe and Drogba in the same category.
But like you said, there is a bracket in there, and
Oh,
Jermaine Defoe might be sitting at the bottom, and Drogba sits at
honestly,
the top of it.
what's
But
even
there's still
strange to me is like Jermaine Defoe is fucking 5'2", like 5'7". I mean, 5'2". Like you wouldn't think of Jermaine Defoe as 5'7", really, would you?
He has 163 Premier League games. That's elite. 163 Premier League goals. That is elite. I don't care how you dressed it up. It's elite.
Oh well, I guess it is a democracy. So
In fact,
Yeah, we'll go elite.
he doesn't have 163 Premier League goals. He's got 184 Premier League goals because for some reason the Premiership and Premier League are differentiated on transfer market. I don't understand why. But he's got 21 goals in the Premiership, whatever the hell that was. So yeah, 184 goals in the Premier League. That's elite. Sorry.
yeah, right. Next up,
yes, I agree with you.
Next up, it's Francesco Totti.
Yeah, I think he might end up going in cult hero. You know, because
I mean, yeah, he is the quintessential cult hero. He is like the cult hero.
I mean, he is Mr. Roma. The ultimate one club man. I would be happy putting him in elite, but I think elite does him a disservice. I think cult hero is probably better for him.
No, I think putting him in cult hero does him a disservice more though. Because
Cause
cult hero's the name of the tier, but it's not like it's kind of just the name of the tier. You know what I mean?
That's a great analysis, Scott. Good job.
Let me run an idea by you boys. Can we put him in both? Can we put him in cult hero and in elite?
Yeah, because he deserves he deserves the utmost respect.
He does. He does. And again, 307 goals in 785 games. He's got a decent goal scoring return.
Can we just make a tier called Totti?
Just Totti has his own tier.
Just Totti on his own.
Totti tier. Gotta be careful saying that drunk. Okay.
We got the budget for that?
We've got the budget. Yeah, we've got the budget for that. I'll yeah. Scott, are you happy to put him in both?
Yeah, we can put him in both, yeah.
Liam? Happy with both, Liam?
Yeah. No, definitely, yeah.
Right.
Good. Okay.
Next up, we have Gonzalo Higuain.
I don't know about Higuain, you know.
I think this man is the quintessential mid.
Yeah,
I'm not saying Higuain was mid. Higuain has his seasons where he's probably one of the
He
best
did have
strikers
good
in Europe.
seasons.
But just in
And there's a
terms of the
reason why-
overall basis of best strikers of all time, mid.
I mean, yeah, I mean, we just put Francesco Totti in elite, and he has a better goal record than Totti.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
But there is a reason why so many clubs paid so much money for him.
Yeah.
money laundering, probably.
I mean, we've got a podcast on that if you want to go back on our channel and have a look.
Oh yeah,
But
isn't Rasta
he
going to
played.
show one? I wonder.
Let me give you a list of the clubs that he played for. Right, he's got 121 goals for Real Madrid, 66 goals for Juventus, 91 goals for Napoli, and then he's got 8 goals in 22 games for AC Milan, 5 goals in 18 games for Chelsea. He played at River Plate, and weirdly he played for Inter Miami. Got 29 goals in 70 games. There's an argument there, Scott, for elite.
I mean, there's an argument. Not sure I want to hear that argument, but
Yeah.
well,
Liam,
it is a democracy, as we keep
I'll
saying.
agree
So,
with Lee.
Liam,
I do. I don't think if Higuain is mid. My camera's gonna be off for a minute here, but I don't think it's Higuain is mid.
right? So I guess Higuain's going in elite then.
Sorry, Scott. I think he's just a little bit better than that. I think he sits on the same level as Jermaine Defoe.
That's a
What did
crazy
he-
sentence, by the way.
What? No, 31 goals in 75 games for Argentina when Argentina was shit.
Yeah, but he also did score that one offside goal in the World Cup.
And that defines his entire career, does it?
Yeah, because he should have stayed onside.
Oh,
Okay, so Liam's broken the podcast. I've muted Liam, so he can't talk to us anymore. I don't have to listen to him.
I can stop
No,
recording.
I have.
we're all good again. We're all good
Okay.
again. Don't worry.
Okay,
I just
we're back.
removed the
Okay,
camera.
good. Can we put up the technical difficulties graphic?
Yeah, no. I fixed that my camera.
Okay. Liam, could you apologize to the audience for breaking the podcast?
No, I don't apologize. Actually, I apologize to the audience. I don't apologize to you. You don't deserve an
I
apology.
never asked you to apologize to me. Listen, I said apologize to the audience.
Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Okay, Scott, who we got next?
I'm sorry, Alfie, as well. I thought I was getting in this.
Up next, it's Stoichkov.
Mm.
Hmm.
So this is a difficult one because I think he's good enough to go in elite. I don't think he was. Sorry, I think he's got the talent to go in elite. I don't think necessarily he was good enough, but he also probably has a shout for going into cult hero as well because I remember when I was a kid playing football, you know when you were a kid and you just scream the name of a footballer when you were volleying one in top bins, Stoichkov, and just bash one in. He was one of those. He was a Del Piero, not as good as Del Piero, but I don't know.
No. I hope Del Piero comes up at some point, by the way.
Yeah, I hope he does as well. But I mean, Stoichkov,
Like,
I don't know about this one, boys.
see,
It's a tough one. I mean,
yeah, I don't know.
Hold on.
See, I was gonna search up because I feel like I always thought
180 goals
Stoichkov
in
was
427 games.
more of a winger, but if Transfer doesn't have all the games down, so
No, I mean he played a good portion of his career as a centre forward. He did play left wing, he did play right wing, but most of his career was as centre forward.
50 appearances, like
yeah.
that is 1 and 2. Like that isn't terrible, but it's not a lot of appearances either. So
It's not, no. But he was another one of those streets don't forget footballers. He was so good on his day.
we should have had a Streets Don't Forget tier. I think we should have had one. Let me think about it because we mentioned it so many times by now.
Yeah, but I think that's kind of also what the cult hero.
I wouldn't look too deep into the tier names there, just there, so we didn't just have S, A, B, C, D.
Yeah. I mean, was he a cult hero at Barcelona? I don't know. He played 255 games for Barcelona, so maybe he was.
See, I think the toss up. I think
the
the toss up with Stoichkov is he's either in elite or he's in world class.
What? No, I don't think he's good enough for that.
Do you not?
No, I think it's between mid and elite. I don't think it's
Got-
elite
Stoichkov
and
in
world
mid.
class. Yeah, I don't think he's good enough to be in the world class tier by any stretch of the imagination. He's not a better striker than Drogba, for example. Definitely not.
Ooh.
And I did watch Stoichkov play. I'm old enough to have watched Stoichkov play.
You have watched Stoichkov play.
Yeah,
That is
and
a
he
very good argument.
he was a really good striker, but I don't think he was. He definitely wasn't world class. He was at the very least he was elite, but he no, at the very most he was elite, but he might sneak into mid based on the other strikers that we've got on this list.
So what? We
I would
settling
say
on mid.
we put a lot of good strikers in the Leafs.
We have put a lot of good strikers in the league. I'm going to go mid, and I like Stoichkov. It hurts me to say that, but the caliber of strikers that we're talking about.
I think the viewers will just see there, but I just want to point out that we have Gonzalo Higuain above Stoichkov.
That's probably
Yeah, that's
right.
probably
Yeah,
fair.
that's probably right. All things considered, yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
You can't accuse me of having recency bias either, because that is literally my era.
Right, next up we have Klaas-Jan Huntelaar.
Huntelaar, I really
An odd
like
name for
Huntelaar.
someone to submit, but
Mid. I don't know why anybody submitted Huntelaar.
yeah, I think that's just
I
a
do
straight
like
up mid.
Huntelaar as a striker. I don't think it's.
Maybe I'd say Huntelaar cult hero.
No.
Yeah,
Is it-
Huntelaar he is.
No. For who? Cult hero for who?
No, just in general,
Yeah.
his ability.
He played for
No.
he played for most of the good Dutch clubs at the time. He played for PSV.
He
played for
did. He
Hernie,
played for all of
played
them.
for-
Cult hero
How
for
is
the
that a
national
cult
team.
hero? That's like saying fucking Luis Figo is a Barcelona cult hero.
Cult hero for the Dutch
I don't
national
think
team.
Luis Figo is a Barcelona cult hero at this stage.
Look, he scored a good amount of goals as well. He scored 366 goals. But the problem is that most of those were in the Dutch league. They were in the Eredivisie.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's
See, I'm not
shot.
overly invested in Klaas-Jan Huntelaar, so I will settle for mid.
I'm going to go mid.
Could we say he's a Schalke cult hero? Maybe.
No, I don't think he is. I don't think he is.
I think football historians will be
he was
laughing
Schalke.
in their.
I mean, they did sign him back at the end of his career, so that's
They
got to
did.
count for something.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean an awful lot.
Like they didn't sign him back because they thought he was good to play for Schalke here. He was the end of his career, so they must have had some emotional attachment to him.
I'd say Raul was a bigger cult hero for Schalke than Huntelaar was.
I just think
No,
based on the
I'm
fact
going-
that they clearly had some value of him, that he could go in cult hero.
Or he was available and they needed a striker.
No, but no one
It
is
can't
saying
just
that,
be
like,
as simple as that.
end-of-the-year geriatric striker Huntelaar because they think he's available. They signed him back because they wanted like a last dance or something, I guess,
Well, you mean like when Thierry Henry went back to Arsenal?
I guess kind of in a lesser degree, but like they're not signing Huntelaar because they thought he was available. There was probably about 1,000 strikers better than Huntelaar available at the time. Like
on ability, he's mid, so that's where I'm going. Scott,
Yeah,
but cult hero
I
isn't based on
think
ability,
mid.
really.
sorry, Liam.
Right.
I mean, you haven't given me any argument on a cult hero, but sure, we'll move.
Next up, we have Eden Rush.
Ian Rush goes in world class.
Yeah, I'm
Ian Rush goes in.
He goes
glad.
in world
I
class.
was fearing that there might have been a few elite shouts, and it's going to get very rowdy.
No, I have a Welsh father-in-law who watches the podcast, and I will never ever live that down.
He is Welsh. That does take him down a tier, I'd say. Just elite on the back, he's Welsh.
From goat to world class.
No, I think being world class. I think being world class as Welsh. Yeah, it brings him up a tier.
No, okay. I mean,
well, I think he's world class. He's one of the few world class strikers that have ever played in England.
yeah, no, I'd say world class as well.
Our next up, I suspect will be our second person in the top tier, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, goat.
Go. We've had this debate like for 3 days already. He's goat.
It's goat.
And I don't like Ronaldo at all. I'm not a Ronaldo fan, but he's goat. Like,
Yeah.
Goat.
I mean, I don't think I'm gonna win any of this argument. Yeah. See,
Well,
I mean,
give us your opinion.
No, see, look, I think Ronaldo is up in the GOAT tier, but I also think that Luis Suarez should be up there next to him.
But we're not talking about Luis Suarez.
I think
we're talking about Ronaldo.
I think
Ronaldo's
best
each
came
player
at
based
left
on
wing. He won most
No,
of his
do
Ballon
each-
d'Ors on the
I
left
mean,
wing.
Ronaldo played as a striker mostly for Juventus. He had goal numbers in Juventus as well.
He did, yeah. He played as a striker for Man
And the end of
United
his
as a
Madrid career
goat.
was striker as
He,
well.
he
So
did he did play as a number 9 for Real Madrid a lot.
Yeah, but I think
So-
I think his Juventus. Honestly, his Juventus then is like the decision maker. I think he was still the best player in the world at Juventus, and he was a striker. So
Yeah, I agree. I
not really his fault. Juventus shit like.
look, I don't want to go back to the Luis Suarez debate, right? Based on just as a striker, is he in the GOAT category or is he in the world class category for you, Scott?
No, go. Yeah, go.
Well, I think Ronaldo's in GOAT. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine.
good.
This isn't Luis Suarez versus Cristiano Ronaldo. Each player on their merit, okay? So he's going in GOAT, and that's an end of it.
Okay. I guess.
Lovely.
Yeah. Right. Next up, it's Patrick Kluivert.
Liver. Oh.
Yeah. See, there's going to be this elite category is going to be so big, isn't it?
It's going to be stacked, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you can't really call Kluivert mid. Like it just feels weird calling Kluivert mid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, at his peak, he was one of the best strikers in the world. He didn't do it over a massively long period, but you look at the clubs that he played for and was successful at. I mean, he got 120 goals for Barcelona, 50 goals for Ajax. He was a very, very good striker. He just didn't play long enough to make it into world class. He's got 200 goals in 480 odd games. Yeah, I think he goes into elite.
Put him into elite. Yeah.
Yeah. And he scored more than a goal every other game for Holland as well.
Yeah. Right. Next up, we have Marco van Basten.
Van Basten.
I think
Van Basten wasn't a striker either.
Van Basten was a striker.
Van Basten was like the striker.
Yeah, Marco van Basten was a striker.
He was a centre forward, not a
Yeah,
striker.
no, but this one,
We're not
again.
yeah, but this is what I mean. Wikipedia's
already.
Right, but I'm talking the debate that we had earlier on. He wasn't a number 9, was he? He was a 10.
Yeah.
I don't mean like your Mesut Ozil, your Kevin De Bruyne, your Bruno Fernandes 10, because the game's changed now. Back then, it was 2 up front, and you had a striker and a centre forward. You had a 9 and a 10, and the 10 played behind and wasn't considered a quote unquote striker, much like Johan Cruyff, much like Diego Maradona. They were considered centre forwards, not strikers. So what I'm saying is,
if we were talking him as a centre forward, we'd probably say world class. So we got to take him as elite, I guess.
I think
we got to go
tier
down.
Yeah. But the debate is whether he's, I would say world class definitely, but I take umbrage with the striker label because he wasn't.
No, I say as I said earlier, I think that's pretty much just semantics, different times. I think he was a striker, and I think he's definitely world class. The guy retired at 29 through injuries, and he has 3 Ballon d'Ors.
He only played 373 games in his career.
That's very right, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's an easy world class.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay,
I do agree that he was world class.
Yeah. Next up, we have Karim Benzema.
World class. Again,
yeah.
15 strikes all time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
You think so? Do you?
I'm agreeing with you, you turd. What do you mean?
Yeah, no. Okay, no, that joke just flew over your head. Okay, never mind.
It's easy to see why. You've never made one before.
The football historians are going to hate me because
podcast, man. I don't get this.
Football historians are going to cook me because I just realised that when I brought up Puskas earlier, it was actually the picture of Alfred Di Stefano.
For fuck's sake, Scott, man.
Alfredo Di Stefano better show up on this list as well.
No, that's what I'm saying. He's up next, which is how I realised that I made that mistake because I looked at the picture and I go, wait, no, that's Puskas.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Benzema's world class, I guess.
Benzema definitely is world class for sure. Yeah.
Right. So next up is Di Stefano.
It's gonna be between GOAT and world class because Alfredo Di Stefano was a fucking beast.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mentioned this earlier. You can't have like 3 different GOATs. It defeats the purpose. Like
No, you can.
It's a
Because-
tier. We're not.
Yeah.
It's a tier.
That's why there
Liam,
is a plural in the tier.
pretend
Okay.
that the top tier is called S plus, and then you won't get so annoyed.
Yeah.
All
But
right. Okay.
Alfredo Di Stefano is
I'll
the
take
second
lead.
man on our list today that has played for 2 international sides.
Yeah. That's got to count for something.
It does count for something.
Does this?
Interestingly,
Is
both of them
Shaq
played for
on the list?
Spain
Declan
as one of
Rice on the
their.
list?
No,
Both
Declan
of them
Rice is
played
not
for
a
Spain.
centre forward, Liam.
It's a joke, Scott Few.
Anyway, earlier on, I think I got confused as well when I said that Ferenc Puskás was the man who Ronaldo took his goal scoring record from. It wasn't. It was Alfredo
Yeah.
Di Stefano who has
Yeah,
285 goals
go.
for Real Madrid.
Realistically, it's go.
Yeah, he goes in the GOAT category. There's no debate about that for me now.
Yeah. Put him in goat then. Right. Next up, we have R9.
Or not.
And I think this is another person going in the
I'm
goat
not
category.
I'm
I don't
not
think
even
there's
going to just move on. He's just put him in and move on.
Yeah.
Where? Where?
We're speed running R9. And in his picture, he's got the iconic hair as well. So
I
Does
don't
he
know
have?
where we're putting it, guys. So someone tell me.
we're putting him in
No.
goat. Too easy.
Wait,
I
are we?
don't even know why that's a question.
Hang on, Liam. Are you going to tell me that you don't think R9 goes in GOAT?
I mean, you mentioned. I mean, longevity is important. I mean, is R9 better over a whole career than Cristiano Ronaldo, Di Stefano, and Puskas over the whole
No, see,
career?
longevity is important, but it's not it's only one criteria, and I think all the other
I mean, the
criteria
winner
are.
is as eternal.
Yeah, I've just muted Liam because I can't listen to this anymore. I know that we're supposed to have a nice balanced podcast where we have an argument, but there genuinely is no reason on God's green earth to ever suggest that Ronaldo doesn't go in the GOAT category. So Liam, I'm going to unmute you when we move on to the next guy. So Scott, who's next?
Right next up, it's Shevchenko.
Okay, Liam, what are your thoughts on Shevchenko?
I'm muted now. Okay, I mean Shevchenko. I would say world class. Honestly, I would say world class.
Yeah, I'm happy with world class.
Good to be able to speak now.
Because
his
his
Shevchenko
footballing
world class,
career
yeah.
does not begin and end with Chelsea.
Yeah.
Because he might very well be in the top 3 Chelsea flops of all time.
And that's a
But-
big list.
It's not hard with the 20 players that they just
That's
bought
a
last
hell of a
summer.
list.
That is a very big list. But he is. Did Shevchenko win a Ballon d'Or? He did, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Yeah, he did win a Ballon d'Or. And I think we need a new rule in today's podcast where if you have a Ballon d'Or, you automatically start at world class and you can only go up.
Okay, well, then,
sorry,
by
that's
that logic, then we need to move Michael Owen to world class.
Except Michael
Yeah,
Owen.
I said it yeah, I said it earlier.
Right, so
Except
You
Michael
just
Owen.
turned your own logic
so
against him,
we're putting Shevchenko in world class.
Yes.
and Michael Owen apparently.
No, you lost that vote.
So, see, Liam,
You're
we've-
just
we've
changing the
already-
rules now.
he's the host. He can make the rules.
Democracy.
It's only a democracy in some
It's
cases.
corrupt.
Okay,
Right.
let's go.
Next up, we have Henrik Larsson.
Lars, no.
Henrik Larsson goes
Cult
in.
hero.
I was
Cult
just going to say, I think he goes in
Yeah.
cult hero.
Yeah,
He
I say
has
cult
to.
hero.
I think he is by far and away the greatest player that Celtic have ever seen, ever.
Yeah.
He went on to play for Man United. He went on to play for Barcelona, and he did okay.
Yeah.
But I think he
That's
left.
never like it.
The only reason he left Celtic is to go back to his hometown club,
Yeah.
and I think that in and of itself, yeah, he's a cult hero.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he.
Yeah.
I honestly, he used it. When I think cult hero, I would probably think Henrik Larsson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good shout.
Right.
You had to get one right today, Liam.
Next up, we have Gerd Muller.
World class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
World class.
Right.
World class,
After Muller, we have Carlos Tevez.
Tevez, oh,
Mid.
made. Oh, that's an interesting one.
And
now.
I'm saying that
I
as a
don't-
Man United fan.
I just want to hear what you have to say on that one, honestly.
Because I don't think Carlos Tevez ever really played as a striker. I think he played as a wide forward in your Mohamed Salah role, in your Ronaldo role-ish. He played as a wide forward. He didn't really play as a striker. And even when he did play as a striker, he was never an elite goal scorer.
No.
Ever.
Yeah, I would.
There were
Well,
so
you're
many
Man
different
United fan,
facets of
so-
his game. A load of
I
different
don't-
facets of his game, but goal scoring wasn't one of them.
No, yeah. But that's why I'm just generally curious. Who was the striker at Man United when Tevez was there? I'm just
Rooney.
trying to
It
think.
was Rooney.
It
Yeah.
was Rooney. It was
It
Rooney,
was-
exactly, yeah.
So the front three was Rooney, Ronaldo, and Tevez, and they sort of interchanged, but Tevez
Yeah,
never played as a
Rooney does
striker.
that. But even when he went to City, he was probably not the out and out striker either. Like, so
No, well, exactly. And look, just put this into perspective. Jermaine Defoe has a better goal record than Carlos Tevez.
okay, that's got to be mid then. Yeah, that has to be mid.
He's going in. He's going in mid. He's not an elite striker. And I loved Carlos Tevez when he was at United. And I would have put him in elite, but he went to City, and then he goes
Okay.
down. He goes down from there.
Okay, well, after Carlos Tevez, it's Kenny Dalglish.
Kenny,
World class.
Yeah,
class.
world class.
Dalglish was probably the first ever Scottish superhero.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if Ian Rush is world class, then so is Kenny Dalglish. Like, it's
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, after Kenny Dalglish, it's Romario.
Romario. That's an interesting one.
I think that's a toss up between world class and elite. I just
Yeah,
can't decide which.
Yeah, hang on.
But when I think of Romario, I don't necessarily think of like an extremely long career as like a.
He didn't
fucking
know.
fantastic- I just think of his World Cups. That's all I think about. You know.
I mean, he did win the World Cup 3 times, I think.
Yeah, that's a big deal. that is a big.
That
Hang
is
on, let
quite
me-
a big deal.
Let me
Yes.
see how many World Cups honors. Let's see. Individual Brazil.
If R9
No, he
goes,
won
then I
one.
think
He won the World
Romario
Cup. He
is-
won the
is
World Cup in
below R9.
19.
World class.
He won it in 1994. He never won the Champions League. He only won La Liga once. He played a lot of his career in Eindhoven at PSV.
Yeah.
LA?
Yeah.
3 World Cups. It's 3 World Cups.
No, he's got one. He won it in 1994. That's it. He's got one. I mean,
Oh,
don't get
that-
me wrong. That's one more than a lot of people on our list,
Yeah.
but it's not 3.
Yeah, no. Then I'd say elite. Then, to be honest, yeah, I don't know what.
But it's fucking Romario, boys.
Yeah, I know.
No,
Like,
Yeah, but looking at it like literally, but
This-
like, professionally.
but based on the other conversations we've had in this podcast, to keep it consistent, I feel like he has to go in elite, not world class.
Yeah.
242 goals in 318 games. So he doesn't.
That's a good return, though. That's the
It's a
thing.
good return,
That
but
is
it's
good,
it's
well.
not long enough, is it?
No.
I think I know it's not possible to sit him on the border between elite and world class, but I think that's probably where he goes.
Yeah.
We'll stick him in the league then, but we'll stick at the top of the league is what we'll do.
Or do we go at the bottom of world class?
No, top of the league. I
Top
think
of the
based
league?
on our own logic, it's going to
Mm.
be the top of the league.
We're gonna get fucking cooked for that in the comments.
Yeah, we're.
We're going to
That-
get a
that-
bunch of angry fucking Portuguese comments. I guarantee you.
Why would they be? Well, I mean, the
Dude,
language.
You,
is
you-
Portuguese.
you're meant to.
Yeah,
To the
the
Portuguese
language is
watching this,
Portuguese.
bring it on. Bring it on.
Romario was Brazilian, you spoon.
Yeah. What language did he speak in Brazil?
Yeah, but you said to all the Portuguese watching.
Sorry, yeah, I mean, sorry, the Portuguese speakers watching. Bring it on. You know what I mean.
You could have just said to the Brazilians watching, of which there will be 0, but
Yeah.
that's not the point. Okay.
Right, so next up we have Messi. Is there a conversation here?
No, just
No. Yeah,
it's
just move on.
R9, Ronaldo, Messi. There's no point discussing them. Just carry on.
As
Yeah.
a striker, though,
He played a lot of his games down the middle.
He did play as
as
centre forward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that is what I mean. That's what I'm saying. Like,
So
yeah,
it was the quintessential false 9, wasn't it? With Barcelona
It's kind of like
for a lot.
Maradona in a way, though. It's a little bit like when we said Maradona.
no, but I feel like Maradona was more of a centre attacking midfielder than he was a
yeah.
centre
Yeah.
forward.
I would honestly consider, say, world class because he wasn't he wasn't like the quintessential goat striker.
Liam,
like,
Liam, I'm muting you again.
No, you're not hearing me yet, man. Listen, like on our own logic, as an out and out striker, I mean, he was more of a centre forward. Like like, would you consider Messi as a striker, as just a number 9 striker, better than Van Basten?
Yeah.
You would, okay. Well,
Yeah.
that logic is GOAT then, I guess. But I just,
I think
Hang
you
on,
could play
I'm just
Messi anywhere across the front line. He would have been the exact same.
exactly
yeah,
the
I don't.
same.
I
Yeah.
just think you could
I'm
have
just
played him
gonna.
as a striker and he would have done the same, but he didn't play as a
So
striker. But
So Messi in his career has played 469 games as a right winger, 330 games as a centre forward. So your argument is out the window entirely.
it's a centre forward isn't a striker, like we said earlier.
But we've based our tier list on the fact that they are.
But we all
I
it's GOAT then.
disagreed.
I'm getting the logic. It's GOAT then. I'm getting the logic twisted. It's GOAT then. Yeah, it's
but
absolutely.
we all
GOAT
are
then.
also using Transfermarkt, and Transfermarkt they don't have striker. They only have centre forward.
Yeah, it's
So,
GOAT then. Yeah, it is
yeah.
GOAT then. I just went to put the argument out there for a minute, but it is GOAT. Yeah.
Or well, we might
Shout
have.
out Transfer Market, by the way. Shout out Transfer Market for the
I
stats.
think-
Thank you very much.
Before I get the angry Messi fans, I think Messi is a GOAT. Don't come at me. I think Messi is a GOAT, so don't come at me.
Well, next up, it might be another quick move on. We have Pele. It's whether you want to believe half his goals were actually scored.
Did he exist?
Did them goals exist?
The man has 4 World Cups, but you're right. He did count all the goals he scored in his dreams. So.
All them training goals.
Yeah, no, he goated.
Yeah,
let's not be silly.
Yeah.
But before we move on, I just want to see how many goals Transfer Market says he actually did score, because I don't think Transfer Market have counted the goals in his dream. So let's have a quick look. It is, that can't be right. Hang on.
Oh, Jesus Christ! How bad is it?
It's not great. Hang on. I haven't gone on the wrong Pele, have I? There can only be one Pele.
There is Pele. There
is a Betty Pele.
But Transfer Market have got him down for 3 World Cups.
He only won 3 World Cups, I think. No.
Yeah. Only the 3 World Cups. You know.
They don't have his goals listed. They've got 1 season at Libertadores, and it's 23 goals in 18 games.
Well, that's called hero. Right? 1 good season, one season. That's called hero, I guess.
More than a goal a game, though. But that's GOAT level size.
It's only 1 season. He's a Brazilian meat shoe.
So Transfer Market have very wisely ducked the how many goals has Pele scored debate.
They've deleted his entire career. What do you mean? They've removed his entire career.
Let's have a quick look at what the bastion of knowledge Wikipedia says in terms of his career statistics. So
probably like 6,000 goals or something.
According to Wikipedia, he has 468 goals in 410 games. No, that's not true either. That's just for This is so weird.
He's an enigma, man, honestly.
Yeah.
We get the Ouija board out and ask him ourselves.
Ask him ourselves.
Fuck it. Right, yeah. Nobody knows how many goals Pele scored, so let's move on.
Let's just take the word of the man. Let's just take the word of the man himself. He can't defend himself here. Let's just take his word for it. Right.
Yeah, before we get
I'll take his word on erectile dysfunction pills, but not on how many goals he scored. Okay.
Right, next up we have Nicholas Anelka.
Elite. I think he's elite.
I was going to say mid.
No, I think he's elite. He's an elite striker.
I don't know.
Did he really reach his full potential, though?
See, that's what I was going to say. I feel like he had all the potential, but he barely, he had a few seasons where he hit that potential and then in general didn't, which is probably why he kept bouncing from club to club, because they're buying him on the potential and then he wasn't hitting the potential. They were like, oh, we need to get rid of this guy.
I think the reason he bounced from club to club was more about him as a person as opposed to him and his footballing ability. So I don't know if I agree with that necessarily. And if he had lived up to his full potential, which is the argument that you're making, then he'd be in world class. But as it stands, the actual standards he hit were elite. And again, let's go to his goal record as 209 goals in 670 games. But a lot of those games were for clubs like Bolton, because he'd fallen out with so many different managers. He fell out with a French manager, didn't play for France for like 4 years.
Totally
you don't.
I wouldn't want to play for France either, so I don't blame him.
Well,
you aren't French,
but
so
if we're judging him,
if I was French, I'd be miserable though.
If we're judging him on his ability, then he's world class. If we're judging him on his career, then he's elite. If we're judging him on the clubs that he played for, he's mid. But if you take all of them together, then it's going to be elite.
Yeah.
Nicholas Nelka is going into elite then.
Again, 125 Premier League goals, Scott.
Yeah, but I mean, Robbie
You
doesn't
know
Robbie
who
Keane
got
have more?
Robbie Keane.
Robbie Keane doesn't have more Premier League goals, no.
Does he not? Okay.
So hang on. Hang on. Anelka has 125. Let's have a look. Robbie Keane has
And then Robbie
Just-
Keane had 78 for Liverpool, I think. So.
just Premier League goals. Hang on. 125 for Anelka. 125 for Robbie Keane. Exactly the same.
Got it, LA. I told, yeah. And you're not even considering Robbie Keane played before the Premier League was a Premier League as well, didn't he?
No, that is not true at all.
No, he didn't. No,
Was
he
that
didn't.
not with Wolves and Coventry? When was the Premier League founded again?
92.
1992.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking it was way later. Then never mind. I thought it was like 98. Never mind.
Okay, well, next up we
My
have
bad.
His
We have-
career started in 95, 96, mate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I thought the Premier League started. Never mind. Okay.
your ball knowledge is showing right now. Well,
It
and
is, yeah.
next up we have Kylian Mbappe.
He's still very early in his
He's
career.
still young. Oh yeah, I know.
And a lot of his career, he didn't really play as an out-and-out striker either. So
He's never played as an out striker, really. He played on the left for the entirety of his career at PSG.
No, so he played down the middle, and that's kind of one of the reasons he was annoyed at PSG because he doesn't like playing down the middle.
But that's
They usually
why
have
he's gone to Real Madrid.
They
To
usually
play down the middle.
Yeah, but I
I mean,
suppose so. But
I
like,
think with the World Cups, right? I think during the World Cup this year, it was Colomwani up top and Mbappe on the wing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, yeah. And then Giroud would come on and play up top.
Yeah.
I
And
think
even when at PSG before Messi even signed, it was Neymar, Cavani, and Mbappe, right?
no, I think Cavani left before then.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I think if we're gonna talk Mbappe, you have to take into account what he's done at the last two World Cups. He won one, nearly won them a second one. I think he starts in world class.
Yeah, I
he's
think
not
he starts
a
in
GOAT
world
yet,
class.
but I think he could end his career a GOAT.
Yeah,
I don't think he's world class.
He is world class.
No,
he
like,
is world class.
The last two World Cups, he absolutely dominated, and he scored a hat trick in the final in the last World Cup.
But he didn't play as a striker in the last World Cup. He wasn't a striker whatsoever.
I think. Look, let's take this out of the equation because I have no doubt that Mohamed Salah and players like that are going to come up. The front three in modern football are strikers. They're wide forwards, right? Forward. They're not wingers like they used to be. Ryan Giggs and Damien Duff, those kind of players were wingers. They played much further back in a flat four midfield. Then they weren't forwards; they were wingers. These days, wingers are forwards. They're almost strikers. They are designed to cut in and shoot.
And I think if we're going to start, I know obviously you are right tactically, but if we're going to start including them, then there's going to be a lot more names that should be on this list that aren't here. You know.
Yeah, well, that was up to the people to put the names in.
And you could have stopped. You could have ended that sentences. I know you're right, and just finished it there. But you didn't. You carried on talking, and then made me more right. So let's carry on and say that he's in world class.
Yeah. Right.
Liam's lost an awful lot of these tonight.
Right. Next up is a man who's.
No, you're just very good at being ignorant, but we'll move.
Next up is a man whose head is missing from the picture for some reason. But based on the kit and based on the fact we've already had Luis Suarez, I believe this is Diego Forlan.
Or maybe.
Oh, mid.
Mid?
Forlan? Yeah, mid.
Yeah, mid.
Yeah, well,
mid.
I don't really.
He failed at the only big club he ever went to. But fun fact: Diego Forlan, at the age of 48, is making his ATP tennis debut this weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen that for Uruguay.
Yeah. Not for Uruguay. No, he's
at
playing
the Uruguay Open. At the
Uruguay Open. Yeah, he's playing the doubles.
Seen on my Twitter today. Or my ex, sorry, Elon Musk.
Right, next up it's another Irishman. I wonder why. It's Niall Quinn.
No, what?
Mid.
Yeah.
Mid.
Yeah.
Mid.
He had a decent couple of seasons when he played with Kevin Phillips. That partnership was a really good partnership, and I think that probably gets him more credit than he deserves because Kevin Phillips was the larger part of that partnership.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. Well, next up it's Wayne Rooney.
World class.
World class. Yeah.
World class. We're speed running now.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
Right after Rooney, it's Raul.
World class.
Well, yeah, world class again. It's gonna get a bit easy now, but
Yeah.
Yeah. After Raul, it's Sammy Eto'o.
Elite.
mm,
Mm.
Elite. I don't think he
you
made it
you
into world
talked
class.
earlier about Weah with Africa, right? So the influence he had on African football.
But he was a pioneer, and Eto'o came
That had
after.
a huge impact on the African game as well, though. If you want to consider that as a standard as
He
well, like
never. He didn't play in Africa.
he didn't play in Africa, no,
He
but
played for Cameroon, but he didn't
yeah,
have. He didn't play in Africa. He didn't have any impact on African football at all.
well, yeah, on the national, on the national scale, I guess, yeah. But I mean, then again, you could also say the same for Drogba. So yeah, I'll go elite. To be fair,
I think elite. He's got 364 goals in 732 games. He played at the highest level for Barcelona in the Champions League.
yeah.
I mean, admittedly, he played for Everton as well, which probably takes him out of the world class bracket. But yeah, he scored 4 goals for Everton as well.
Yeah. Well, next up after Eto'o, it's Firmino.
That was you, wasn't it, Scott?
Yeah, like off hand on my heart, that was not me.
It was Rahit then. It was Rahit then.
Doesn't matter who it was. The fact is he's there.
My bias would have Roberto Firmino in elite.
See, I think he's somewhere between mid and elite. Yeah, I mean, again, we're talking about a striker who wasn't really a striker.
Look, I think during his time, he was probably one of the best down like striker centre forwards during those times. No, just based on the role that he had to do. But in terms of the general debate of the best strikers of all time, I'd probably put end of elite
mid.
Anywhere.
Yeah, that's disrespectful. I'd say mid. Yeah.
He's what I was talking about at the top of the show when I was talking about a facilitator as opposed to a goal scorer.
Yeah.
And he made Salah and Mane play.
Yeah.
He didn't necessarily score all that many goals himself, and if he did, he wasn't looking to go when he did it either. Oh look, look pass, woo! But I mean, I would have put him in mid just based on the caliber of players above him. In terms of actual goal scoring, which is what you want your striker to do. But then in terms of making players around him play better, he's probably in the elite category. So I'm a little bit torn here. I might just leave this one to you two boys.
See,
I'll say mid, honestly.
Okay, well, democracy then. So I'll put mid.
Well, it's not democracy because there's one vote for you, one vote for Liam. So I can cast the tie-breaking vote.
I think honestly, elite depends on how much you rate Klopp Liverpool. To be honest, if you think Klopp Liverpool was like such a good system, then he is elite because he was one of the most important parts of that system. You know,
he got 111 goals for Liverpool, which is not nothing.
That's not terrible as well. I would consider elite actually. Yeah.
But that being said, in his career, he got 180 goals in 600 games, which is not a good return. That's 1 in 3.
I think he started his career at Hoffenheim as an attacking midfielder. I think it was
a lot of the strikers we're talking about today have started in lower clubs and still scored goals, which is what got them to a big club. I'm wondering whether Firmino thrived in Liverpool's system as opposed to
he was
do you know what I mean?
A huge part of the system. You can't even deny that. Scott, you watched Liverpool like at that time.
I really don't know where to put him. I might give him the benefit of the doubt and put him in elite because it feels weird having. You said mid. What do you mean?
Because I changed my mind and I explained why. I think.
Oh well, then I don't need to vote. You two both voted elite.
Okay, well he's going elite then. Moving on before someone changed their mind. Moving on before someone changed their mind. Next up is Thierry Henry.
Where are you? No, I don't mean as a striker, but like, why is he here in general? Why is he on this planet? Why was he created?
To annoy you, which is why you were put on this planet, is to annoy us.
Why did Satan dine to create this motherfucker? That's my question.
So I think he goes in world class quite comfortably.
Yeah.
As a footballer, yeah.
Oh, for God's sake, Liam. I don't.
As a handball player as well.
Jesus Christ! I did. Do you know what?
Does that mute button look very nice and tasty right now?
I've been waiting for the whole podcast to make Thierry Henry jokes. Okay, so
I think he just fails to make the breakthrough into GOAT because I think he probably played better
Yeah.
off the wing than he did as a striker. But I don't think he also set the world alight outside of Arsenal. And he didn't. He won a few Premier Leagues and he won a World Cup, but he didn't. He famously only won the Champions League when he went to Barcelona. I don't think he did particularly well elsewhere. He did all right for Juventus, but again, he was an out-and-out winger at Juventus. He wasn't a striker until he went to Arsenal. I think he just misses out on GOAT for me, but he sits in world class.
Yeah,
I think they're honestly there are better players in the world class tier, but I agree, he's vastly world class. Is undoubtedly.
Well, you say that, but there is a genuine shout for Thierry Henry being the best Premier League player of all time, and if that's the case, then he can't be anything other than world class.
As United, do you think Thierry?
No, I think there's a conversation there, just like there's a conversation around Harry Kane being one of the best Premier League players of all time.
We haven't talked about Harry Kane yet.
But you're never, ever going to come to a consensus on who the best player of all time is in the Premier League. But if they're in the conversation, then it's automatically world class, and he's in the conversation.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Right, so he's world class.
Okay, he's put into it right. Next up is Ruud van Nistelrooy.
World class. Again, he is a world-class striker.
LA, you need to talk more. We're all going to agree he's world-class, but you've been waiting the whole podcast to talk about Van Nistelrooy. So just tell us why he's world-class, please. Yeah.
He is probably the most natural finisher the Premier League has ever seen. I'm talking natural finishing and nothing else. If you take everything else away, he is the most natural finisher the Premier League has ever seen. Possibly, if you take the aliens in terms of Messi and Ronaldo out of the equation, he might be the best finisher the world has ever seen. Just a God-given talent to score goals and nothing else. He before Jamie Vardy came along, he had the record for the most consecutive goals in Premier League history or in league history. He got 11. I think, according to this stat here, just behind me here. This has been here the entire time. If you couldn't see behind me, Alan Shearer had 7 20+ goals in 14 seasons, so half of his seasons were 20+ goals. Sergio Aguero got 6 in 10. Thierry Henry got 5 in 9. Harry Kane got 5 in 10. Ruud van Nistelrooy got 4 in 5, which is insane. 5 seasons on the Premier League, and I think the 5th season was when he was out for an entire season with a knee injury. So the man is just absolute mustard when it comes to being a striker.
We all agree he's world class. So I just wanted to let you rant for a minute.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's gone into world class, but I just want to point out something about earlier on. LA was like he didn't realize how many goals Aguero scored, and he's Aguero's second on his graphic.
No, but that's number that is actually very funny. It's my graphic as well. Brilliant.
Okay. After Van Nistelrooy, it's Gary Lineker.
Oh, world class. Yeah, definitely world class.
World class, yeah. Okay, and then we're on to our final player, Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Wait, hold on.
That's the final player.
Well, nobody submitted Harry Kane.
Nobody submitted Harry Kane.
Nobody submitted Harry Kane. That's a crazy to me. Okay,
it's your own fault for putting Dominic Solanke 10 times. You fucking nutter. Okay, so Zlatan, I think it's world class, isn't it?
Yeah. Man was
one of the greatest strikers of our generation.
Yeah. I think he was one of my favourite players of all time until he joined Man United.
Yeah. I could see why you would get annoyed at that.
And then I have to pretend like I never liked him.
Yeah, I mean, but you could be diplomatic like I am and say you don't like the person, you like the player, like with Luis Suarez. I don't like the person, but the player's incredible. Yeah, I think Zlatan's definitely world class. And it's actually a really nice place to end the podcast because we're not going to talk about Harry Kane, and this will serve you right for not submitting him. So if your striker didn't make it into this podcast, you only have yourself to blame. We are going to probably end up doing something very similar.
Yeah, maybe a different position. So make sure to follow us on Twitter. Maybe another
on Twitter.
Go up.
Nicholas Jackson better than Harry Kane. You heard it here first.
There you go. So follow us on Twitter is @AttackingFooty. Don't forget to press subscribe, and in the comments you can tell us how wrong we are about all of the different players that we put in position.
Make sure you tell LA Robbie Keane is elite. Just make sure you tell him because he's wrong.
All 7 of you. Well done. Let me know. Thank you very much for watching. Liam, Scott, thank you very much for joining me. Appreciate your time. We will see you again next week. Thank you.